I have my treadle hammer. I have my treadle hammer set up. So this way I can sit at the treadle hammer and work. It's what I wanted this hammer specifically set up to do. It was doing work like I'm doing on this current bowl, which is hot chasing. I'm doing hot chasing work into the piece, or cold chasing work right here, you know, and just be able to sit with some top tools and do my work. So I set it up really nice for that purpose, and it really does work out very well. Some of the main features about this hammer is its modularity. So the 42-pound head, you don't have to buy that. You don't have to start with the full kit to get into this type of hammer. My original design was designed to work with a sledgehammer. So you could put a 10 or 12-pound sledgehammer in the bracket, and you could start with just the base model that is a manual swing arm type treadle hammer for a really low economic cost. Then if you wanted to upgrade, you could get the air cylinder, the optional air cylinder, that then you can use in conjunction. Now you can manually hammer up and down, but you also have the benefit that you can use an air pedal. And just with the tap of an air pedal, get everything from little bouncy strikes where you're barely tapping the piece, see how light that is? The full-on blows out of it. So, you know, just by working with the bounce and working with the rhythm on that. The other big benefit is like the springs on it. They're trampoline springs. They can be bought anywhere where you can find trampoline springs. All the pieces on this, the bolts, the hardware, to bolt it all together. It's not a weld together design. It's a bolt together design. All of those pieces can be had at your local hardware store. So you can replace anything on this at a moment's notice just by running down to your local Home Depot or your Ace Hardware or whatever your local hardware store is that you've got close to you. So there's no weird special things that you have to buy, no special machined products or anything like that. That's another benefit. It has adjustable height in the back end, so you can adjust for how you work. This hammer is not only modular, but it's very adjustable. If I want to work some taller tooling out of this, I can just take this bottom die block and the full kit away, and now I have all this stroke height to take and work on a piece. This particular stroke height is almost 14 inches of space. So I have a ton of space between this head and here. So if I wanted to drive a drift or do something like that through, say, a hammer, I could do that, like through a hammer head. And then I can put back on my die block just like so, and it fits with the anvil that you may or may not already own. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The main key thing that I designed this hammer for, this hammer is designed for the smith in their garage. It is designed for the smith on a low budget. It's designed for the smith who has very compact space needs for some extra power forging capabilities. It is designed to fit the work that you do, and with some little bits of adjustment and setup for the exact kind of work that you want to undertake, you can be up and running with this hammer within, you know, a good day. You know, spend an afternoon building it, 5-6 hours, putting everything together, getting everything laid out right from scratch, and you're up and running and you're forging with the hammer. The other benefit that I've been offering with this is when someone buys this hammer from me, I have been offering, Jess has been sending this out, is pretty much, there's links to how to build the hammer and how to put it all together, but if you find that you need additional help, you can schedule a phone call with me, a FaceTime call with me, and I help troubleshoot and diagnose and help tune your hammer up so you're getting the most out of it for your particular piece of work. That's a type of customer service and quality you're not going to get anywhere else. So it's just the way that it is. So it's something I pride myself on, is helping out. the best I can. Again, my aim is to take and help out smiths. This is an evolution of various hammer designs and home-built DIY power hammers and everything that I have been building for a long time. This is an evolution of all those things that started way back when I first got started in smithing, and I was just getting into the professional side of things and production smithing, and I was like, hey, you know, I went to a guy, he had a power hammer, he was at Quad State, and I was like, hey, would you take payments on the hammer? And then I could come, you know, once I get it paid, I could buy it, you know, I could have it or whatever. And the guy said pretty much, if you don't have money to pay to play the game, then you're in the wrong business. And so, again, he just told me as a young man that if I was poor, if I was broke, then I had no business smithing. And I really did not appreciate that. And so for me, that's like throwing that's like throwing gasoline on an inferno that's burning inside. And I said, oh yeah, watch me. And I went home. In the very next weekend, I built the Da Vinci cam hammer in one evening. I was so mad and torqued off about it. I built it with a drill, a little half horsepower electric drill I had, a couple of pulleys from the hardware store, a bit of threaded rod, and wood. And in a sledgehammer, I built the Da Vinci cam hammer, and that was and then I made a video on it, and then I made some plans around it and stuff like that. And then I did a revised design once I got a decent welder where I could weld some stuff. I made a revisited version of that hammer, and I built that as well. And I used that to great effect on making little horseshoe nail hooks and things like that, small items. And that started the evolution on YouTube around that journey that, hey, if I'm struggling with that, if I'm running into that out there, then other people are too. So maybe I can help them out. And so that's what kind of started that whole journey into power hammers. So this is an evolution of sorts of that type of work.